for coming. We really, really do appreciate it. We appreciate you all hanging out in the rain for this. That is incredible. Your dedication is always impressive to us.
No, we can't hear
We're going to go down and introduce each of us so you know who we are, what we did on New Vegas, and what we're doing now at Obsidian. And I'm going to start with the gentleman with my left. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is John Gonzalez. I'm Creative Director at Obsidian Development and Obsidian Entertainment. However, back in the back day, when I worked on New Vegas, I was a lead creative designer, which basically means I was the narrative lead of the game. So when we started working on New Vegas, we knew it was going to start with you getting shot in the head and left in a shallow grave, and we knew it was going to end with a cataclysmic final battle at Hoover Dam. I had to figure out what happened in between those two things. So there was a lot of work, and really it was some of the most satisfying and exciting work of my entire career. So along the way, some of the highlights were, I created and wrote Benny. Created and wrote all the dialogue for Mr. House. I also Yes Man. Also wrote all of Caesar. Created and wrote Volpace and Colta, or Woolpace, if we're going to go hardcore on that. Sort of imagine the power balance on the strip, you know, the Lucky 38, and then the three gangs, the chairman, the emeritus, and the White Glove Society and their casinos. And then did a bunch of work on like Come Fly Away With Me, and I did work on the Boomers, and a bunch of other side quests. And that was kind of it. Now, I didn't do a lot of work on the DLC, but one thing that I did do for DLC, it's one of my favorite things I ever wrote, was the Survivalist Diaries. That's really nice to hear that. I still look back really fondly on that work. And I just will say, like, the work, this was the first role-playing game I ever worked on.
Oh my God!
And I cannot even begin to tell you how much I learned. It was absolutely what set me up for all of the work that I've done since. There's no, one of the things I did later on is I went to Guerrilla and I did the kind of world and story and characters of Horizon Zero Dawn. There's no way that I could have done any of that without everything that I learned during a very intense certain 18 months that I spent at Obsidian Entertainment. So, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming out. I can't believe the passion and all the cosplay and seeing stuff that we were dreaming up and talking about 15 years ago, manifesting before our eyes in this way, as you imagine, is just an incredible gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
John, let's follow that up.
Well, by the way,
Hi, John.
Hi, John.
John Lewis for short. And coincidentally, 15 years ago is when I got my start in the game industry at a period at Obsidian Entertainment. And if you do the math, then you would realize that I didn't actually work on New Vegas until the end. And so the majority of my work was actually on the 4 DLCs. So, and then primarily on Old World Blues and... What did I do? Well, let's see, what didn't I do? No, so for all those GEC modders out there, you might have heard the word nav mesh. That is what I was hired to do, and it's a harsh lesson in tedium. But
I'm so sorry.
I was one of my bosses. Thank you. You know. So one of my bosses was Chris Avalone, and he was constantly pushing for me to be able to do more than just that. So on Honest Hearts, I got to do a lot more. Oh, I was an intern, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Yeah. Still am, 15 years later. So, where are we going? Oh yeah, so on Honest Hearts, I got to do some loot placement. I got to do set dressing all over the place. On Old World Blues, I actually got to design a bunch of locations. So there's a Saturnite alloy research facility. I got to do Higgs Village. I did all the maps, the Pip-Boy maps for all the DLCs.
Yeah.
And I got to do the end slides for DLC 3 and 4. And let's see, on Lonesome Road, I got to do the most work. I designed the Ashton missile silo, and then also a little-known area called the Courier's Mile, which many of you have maybe suffered through. I'm sorry. Not sorry, though.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. And yeah, that was most of my work that I did on New Vegas. Brian?
My name is Brian Menze. I'm a senior concept artist at Obsidian. On Fallout New Vegas, I pretty much drew concepted nearly everything you see in it.
Oh my god!
So the major things I did not do, I'll just get that out of it because it's easier. I did not design the NCR flag. I did not design the Ranger. I did not design Lucky 38's logo, and I did not design Veronica. But every other major character I visually designed, all the posters, comic books, propaganda posters, logos, Seth's Swirl is mine. All the factions, all major characters, I visually designed all of those. And I was very busy. Okay. Can everyone hear me? I talk softly sometimes.
Eat the mic! Eat the mic!
Eat it?
Yeah!
Like, eat it? Like, I'm gonna be a meme, dude. This is not gonna be a mic 2 days from now. So,
You're doing a lot of grace with 2 days.
yeah, I'll keep my answer humble. I just draw a lot of pictures. I do a lot of stuff on Fallout.
Can I add to that though, Brian, that you also created one of the very best art assets I've ever seen in any game, which is the mural that tells the story of Vault 34 and the Boomers.
Also, you have much more history with Fallout than the other 3 of us on this panel.
So, my history's a little longer. I've been in the game industry for 30 years. I worked on Fallout 2 as well with and I worked on I worked on Blackout for many years. I worked on all their titles, basically. Fallout 2 was my first. Sorry. For Fallout 2, I was mostly responsible for the static backgrounds. I would paint over the top of them all of the dirt, grime, cracks in the walls, that kind of stuff, so I would make it feel a little bit more weathered and that kind of thing. I'm sorry, I'm completely ignoring the side of the stage here. Thank you all for staying in the rain. I did some Blood Spatter, and for both games I did Vault Boys.
Thank you all. So I am Mikey Dowling. On Fall, I was the audio producer, primarily focused on VO. And then now I'm the director of communications and franchise for the company. Very awesome. I get to see you all very, very often, which is fantastic. But for New Vegas in particular, I came on that project right after Alpha Protocol. New Vegas is the second game I've ever worked on.
Holy shit.
Which is wild to think of, being like blessed by one, that franchise, two, this community. But I came on and they were like, so we need to know how to close down VO for this game. Figure it out. I was like, okay. So I had to look through and see how many voice lines we had. Found out that there was 82,000. And no one believed that. And luckily we didn't, because we found out a lot of Fallout 3 lines were still in there. I got to delete all those, get a normal number, and then we started planning. But a lot of my work came from setting up our voice sites with Josh Sawyer, making sure that we were casting for those voice sites. Some of them you'll see up here in a little while. And then being involved a lot with sessions and getting scripts together and getting all of those lines of dialogue into the game and on time. We recorded for essentially 2 months across 4 studios, mostly running every day, Monday through Friday. I lived in LA for 2 months of my life. Sometimes taking the trek. Got to hang out with John a lot for our sessions in LA traffic early in the morning to get there. So it was definitely a wild ride for how much we had to do, but I also got to meet some of the coolest people that I still know through that. The voice actors are all incredible in that game. And we learned a lot how we want to do big scale games going forward from the lessons that we learned on New Vegas. So I thought that was really awesome. But we're here to talk about Fallout as well. This community, this is amazing. John, if you had to think of Gonzalez, you're second. You're second, John. You'll be John too from now on.
He's young John.
Young John.
Little John.
There we go.
Little John. Little John. He's a sequel. John New Vegas.
This is my
Menze did the
You're making it so much worse, Brian.
So John Gonzalez, is there something you did on New Vegas that you look out across this crowd and you would have never expected 15 years later that something would have attached to players in the way that it did?
Well, I think one of the things I've been most delighted about is seeing lots of ladies dressed as Benny. I think that you have found a way of taking the ultimate lady killer and putting him in his place. In terms of if we expand the question to just kind of things we remember from the game, like when I try to think of something that's an interesting anecdote, I always think Yes Man is a fascinating example of necessity being the mother of invention. I don't know if you know this bit of the story, but when we were working on the game, one of the editorial constraints, directorial constraints from Josh Sawyer was that you had to be able to finish the game killing everyone that you met on site or no one at all. So basically you could be either a walking flamethrower or Mahatma Gandhi of the wasteland, you know, where you wouldn't even kill a radiated animal. And so as I was working through the logic of the main quest, you can imagine this is very tricky when you have to think about every single possible quest giver being someone who's getting shot in the face the moment they first appear on screen. So it's like, what do you do with this? And the idea that came about, that the kind of like light bulb moment was like, well, what if we had a quest giver you could kill, but he just kept coming back? And like he just would just like reinstantiate. So that was the birth of Yes Man. And the fun, I thought, was having him be so obsequious that he would always blame himself for it. Like it's the ultimate abusive relationship, right? Shoot him, he shoots up, it's not you, it's me, I'm so sorry. And that's always something that's stuck with me.
John Lewis.
What's up?
Your proper name.
Oh, thank you.
Because I got so admonished for not doing it. Same question
As you
to
should. And what was that again?
Just listening to the panel you were on. Fuck it. Little John. All right. So, is there something that you worked on that if you look out here and you see people representing something from either one of the DLCs that you would have expected to catch on the way that it did?
I don't know if I'd say anything like specific that I worked on because it's all characters, right? And I didn't work on any characters, but I have seen some pretty amazing things. One of which was a shoulder-mounted Eddie. Whoever you are, I would love to take a photo with you later because that's amazing. Okay, nice. We'll meet up later. Yeah, other than that, I mean, just seeing, I saw like the most perfect Doc Mitchell yesterday, and obviously all the Bennies and the. I don't see any right now, but the Joshua Graham squad, that was impressive. I'll pass it to Brian.
For me, it'd be all the DLC lore games. So the fact that those DLCs get as much love as they do is pretty amazing.
Now, kind of bringing it to this location, had any of you come to Good Springs after we launched the game, before this fan fest started happening?
Yeah!
Any game I worked on and put me into like a realm of the industry that I wasn't expecting, and got to meet a bunch of amazing people on the voice side who I'm still in contact. But then when I switched from dev to go to comms, it was a crazy time. So going to like conventions, WonderCon or Comic-Con, and getting to interact with you all, who this game is like clearly touched in a way that I could never have fathomed, meant so much, and it brought me out of like a crazy place. I'm not gonna get emotional.
Do it!
Crying! Anyway. Y'all are great. Like, and there's people I will still go and see whenever we're here. They come up to me and talk to me, and like, I just appreciate all of you all so much. And I'm gonna turn this to you all. In what reality in 2010 would any of you thought that we would be here?
Not the reality that I actually lived in. There is no way that I ever could have foreseen this. I mean, this really is kind of it's an amazing dream come true. Thank you to each and every single one of you.
So in 2010, I was a desperate 26-year-old.
That kind of thing. There was a lot of fans online that were talking about the game, so we kind of knew there was a large fan base. But when Interplay closed, Bethesda bought it, I knew then that it was probably going to be a lot bigger than it ever was. But still, this weekend has been a complete surprise, and it's very, very humbling. But no, I had no idea that it would ever be something like this. You guys are crazy.
Yeah! Proud of it.
But in a good way. In a very good way.
Gary!
That's it.
Take it so seriously. Okay, can we back down off of that?
But it is yours. Like, it's the craziest thing to see that we just get to go out there now and like, we made it, you own it, and that's very, very awesome. I don't really know how much time we have. It feels like we were given 45, and I know there's actors who are coming as well. But I do want to just give us each kind of a round of closing thoughts.
Thank you!
And I'm so happy that both Steve and Stephanie have opened their doors to all of us and this property. And it's amazing. I can't wait to see what next year brings. How much bigger it's going to be. It just seems to keep getting bigger and bigger. I don't know. My closing thought is just a big thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause because you're just...
5 minutes. 10.
We love you, Brian! There he is! Come on, guys! Give it up.
Test. Give it up for Wayne Newton, everybody. In the house at the Pioneer Saloon. It's a magical moment. Thank you so much for being here. It's a real honor. Thank you. Thank you. You can have a seat. You can have a seat.